Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chicago Sports Tonight. I'm Lou Canellis, Tina Nguyen alongside from 670 The Score. Laurence, Holmes in the house, and Chris Emma. Good to see both of you guys. Always good to see you, Tina. I saw you last night. Always. Right. I just want to know who slept last night. Did anyone? I had a tough time falling asleep after that game.
I mean, I was sweating watching the end of that game. I feel like I'm still sweating, so I did not sleep at all. I mean, I just couldn't stop watching the highlights.
You were texting at 4 a.m. What are you talking about?
Roger and I, our producer, we were talking about the game. I'm always up to good things.
I'm old, so I did make it to sleep. But I do think it's interesting that all day today, no matter where I went in the city, people were out here in their Bears gear. I was in Hyde Park, Kenwood, Wrigleyville, Southport Corridor, and Bridgeport today, and everyone was wearing Bears. In fact, Emma and I walked in together. There was a guy in a full Bears suit, claws and all, walking around the Fox studios. They are ready for this. They are loving it.
The city of Chicago just shines differently when the Bears are good, and that is what we're seeing.
I want you guys to see this because I've seen a whole bunch of memes. But this one is for us older Bears fans. You like that? I knew you would love it. And I loved, Laurence, the video that you posted on The Score on the website. You always do a video following every game. But you brought up a great point. And I don't want to steal your thunder. What was it?
It's just that this is a game that people are not going to forget. This game. Forever. Every Bears fan is going to have a story about where they were. There's going to be 200,000 people who were at Soldier Field. Everyone's going to tell you that they were there, that they had a ticket, all of that stuff. It was an epic comeback. It was all the things that you hope to have happen with your quarterback. Caleb out there throwing it, putting his hands in his pocket before the ball is even caught. That's crazy. And then you add in the Iceman stuff, which now might turn out to mean Bears in American Sign Language, hitting all the right notes, man. It's crazy.
That's just you throwing everything. I mean, the defining moment for the quarterback, a team that's been on the rise, facing your rivals, and to do it in that kind of fashion, that's a game you will never forget in Chicago. That's a game that's going to stick with you forever. That's a game where if you paid the $500, if you paid $1,000, it was worth it. You had to be there for that one. That's a game that Chicago's never going to forget.
High stakes, playoff implications, the biggest game of the season for this team. And by the way, they did not play their best game, right? Ben Johnson has said time after time, I want this team playing their best football in December. They haven't been really playing their best football, but they are finding ways to win games here. And you're seeing, too, with Caleb Williams, right? When the game is on the line, just this team overall, though, when they have pressure, when the game's on the line, it brings out the best in them.
Well, they better have the best going because they're going to the playoffs for the first time since 2020 when they backed their way in as a wild card team. The Bears are headed to the playoffs thanks to Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers who held off the Detroit Lions.
How about that? That at the end of all of this, you have the Bears fans cheering for the person that they hate the most, Aaron Rodgers, to hold on. And the way that game ended was insane. With the call of Jared Goff had recovered a fumble in the end zone and it was a touchdown. We're thinking it's the Seattle 2-point conversion all over again, and it wasn't. And then everyone in Detroit was just a shrug emoji going, wait, what just happened? And here the Bears are. They have now clinched a playoff spot, and now the magic number is 1 to win the division.
Hey, Chris, can you believe that this Bears team last year won 5 games, finished last in the NFC North? Ben Johnson comes in, and in 1 year, they're going to the playoffs.
5 wins last year. They have 6 comeback wins in the fourth quarter this year. I mean, 11 in total now. Unbelievable turnaround. Worst to first now is sitting on the verge of clinching the NFC North. And think about it in this perspective. You just saw the Lions losing and getting the Bears into the playoffs. Bears were 0-2 after falling 52-21 in Detroit, getting spanked up there at Ford Field. Ben Johnson, you're thinking, man, this is going to be a long road for him to get this thing on track. And sure enough, here you are with the Bears sitting at 11-4 on the way to the playoffs and looking like they're ready to clinch the division. Give everybody in that building credit. This turnaround has been improbable in a lot of ways, capped off by the win last night over the Packers. It's been a special season, and just enjoy it. This has been a heck of a ride. You hope it's just the beginning, but you never really know know, just enjoy this ride because it's been really something else.
It sure has. If you missed the postgame show last night here on Fox 32, which included Ben Johnson and player reaction, here you go.
I don't think I've been around a team that just, when it's this late in games, just they don't bat an eye. You don't feel any despair on the sideline from any of the phases. This group, I'm talking about coaches and players combined, it's rare. It really is. Man, they're mentally tough. They're physically tough. I know we're going to fight you for 60 minutes.
I got the best coach in the world. Let's put it that way. And we have the best coaching staff in the world. And so you put the talent with the coaches and the people that care. You can strive for anything. You can reach anything. You can go after any goal. And when you go out there in that football field, your belief is at an all-time high between players, between coaches, and you have outcomes like this.
All right, 6 comebacks with under 2 minutes left to play in the game this season. Are the Bears a team of destiny? I'm going to start with you, Tina.
I mean, it feels like this win over the Packers last night was like a destiny type of win, but I think you look at overall, Chris, you talked about how, they won 5 games last year. And this first year under Ben Johnson, he's completely changed the narrative about the Chicago Bears, right? I mean, Josh Jacobs said in their first meeting, you see that team, that Bears team right now, they're different. You see when they step onto the field, they are believing what Ben Johnson and his coach and staff are really telling these guys. And then you go in the locker room, you talk to so many of these players, right? Everybody believes in themselves that they can be the guy that makes a game-changing play. So, I mean, it kind of feels like it.
Hey, Laurence, so many heroes on that final play. I had a chance to chat with Jeff Joniak after the game, and I asked, and I mean, there were so many heroes, Caleb with the throw, but how did DJ Moore catch that football? They were covering his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering, I was looking to see if they had actually thrown a flag on this play because it was definitely defensive pass interference. And when he falls out, I'm like, man, did he not catch it? And then you see that it's an amazing thing, and I love that everyone kind of felt like DJ Moore needed to be a bigger part of the offense. And over the last 2 weeks, you've seen him. That's a #1 wide receiver. We forget that. He's a #1 wide receiver with a bunch of bad quarterbacks throughout his career. The injuries end up elevating everyone. And so you're looking for someone who can make plays. And throughout DJ Moore's career, he's been this dude. The guy that made the plays last night, the guy who made the plays last week. So seeing him in this moment elevate his game it felt like justice. It felt like these two guys who you could say haven't really been on the same page for most of the season, them getting it together over the last couple games, it makes them even more dangerous when Luther Burton comes back, when Rome Odunze comes back, as Colston Loveland continues to ascend.
All right, it was a play that will go down as one of the greatest in one of the most important moments in Bears history. Here are the two guys, Caleb Williams and DJ Moore.
He always makes plays when needed. He's clutch like that. He gets better every single week, Jason. I think that's something we keep talking about, and I really do think he is playing some of his best football right now of the year.
You got that belief. You got that confidence. You got that swagger as offense. You practice well. You hit plays like that in practice. When the play gets called, and the moment comes up like that, it's time to go hit it. Time to go in the game.
How can he look so bad, so pedestrian for most of the game, and then after the onside kick, he looks like Superman?
He lives for those moments. I mean, he talks about it. You see him on the sidelines before that. He's smiling. He's calm. He's feeling good. Like, there's no concern for Caleb Williams. He's ready to go out there and act like a stone-cold killer. He's ready to put that ball in the air, put his hands in his pocket, and say, this game's over. I did it. And that's just Caleb Williams to the core. This guy is built for those moments. That's something you can't develop. I don't care how much he coaches you can't develop that. That's a natural thing. He wants that ball in his hands, and he had it there, that big moment. 4th down, he gets a moment of redemption to Johnny Walker for that touchdown. gets out there in overtime and rips that ball to DJ Moore and wins the game. He loves those moments and he thrives in them.
And your former Aggie, your fellow Aggie, excuse me, Johnny Walker comes up big time.
Exactly, an undrafted rookie, right? I was talking to someone at Texas A&M. They were texting me last night. They're like, even when he was at A&M, by the way, he's always smiling. And if you're around him in the locker room, he's the kind of guy that kind of brings that juice, that joy. But I mean, to see him come up and make that big play, get a game tying, a touchdown there against the Green Bay Packers, that was huge.
I love you, DJ Moore. Our Bears discussion is brought to you in high definition by Xfinity, introducing the 5-year price guarantee, one consistent internet price for the next 5 years guaranteed. Laurence Holmes from The Score, Chris Emma from The Score, Tina Nguyen, Luke Canellis. The Packers did not punt in this game. The last time the Bears didn't force the opponent to punt and still won the game, 80 years ago.
Wow.
Key number, Packers 0 for 5 in the red zone.
They stopped him in the red zone. You have the turnover on downs. The defense is interesting because you'd love it if they generated more of a pass rush. But I get it. Yesterday was bizarre because you're dealing with one game plan. You're thinking that Jordan Love's going to play. Malik Willis comes into the game. It throws the element of zone read in. It throws the element of him leaving the pocket and running. He balled. Like, he was so good last night, and the Bears weren't quite ready for it. They adjusted a little bit in the second half, but this team probably still needs to manufacture more pressure. And Dennis Allen, I think, is trying to do that, but that's left them vulnerable. We've seen them blitz and have man behind it. That's when big plays have happened to them. And that's something that they do have to worry about and try and figure out when to do it and when not. And like Jalen Johnson doesn't quite look like himself yet. And that's a guy that you ordinarily just say, put him on the best wide receiver and don't think about it. So until he gets through that scar tissue stuff that he's been dealing with, they're going to have to play some games and try to mix things up and confuse quarterbacks.
Guys, I felt like the Bears defense was too juiced up at the beginning of the game.
I agree with you.
2 15-yard personal foul penalties in the first 4
Which
Packers
is weird because they
plays.
told Emma all week that was the mistake they made in the first game. That they had said that they were a little too juiced up in the first game. So I was a little surprised to see them act kind of out of character in the first quarter of that game.
I love that they take this rivalry personally, guys. Like in baseball, when it's Cubs-Sox, like, it's just another game for us. Like, they care so much about facing the Packers and vice versa, the Packers to the Bears. Like, the rivalry matters to these players. And obviously, you feed off the fans, you feed off the energy, and you certainly understand the stakes there. But, yeah, they got to tone it down a little bit from what they had out there. It was a little too amped up, but I love the way that the Bears fed off that. They embraced the idea of getting back on their rivals and getting redemption.
Tina, I did not love the Wildcat play at the beginning of the game on that first drive when the Bears were running all over the Packers.
Exactly. I mean, you look at that opening drive for the Bears, they were in a really good rhythm, right? And then on that on that fourth down there, just completely killed the momentum. I think Ben Johnson just got a little bit too cute there.
Who's going to, cheer a little bit for Cairo Santos? Can we throw some flowers at Cairo Santos with the way he kicked field goals in that
props to both kickers yesterday, because it was like Lou at the golf range. They got the pitching wedge out there. They're playing a fade, like all of this stuff. And for them to, the only game I remember, and you probably remember this too. You remember that game like when we were young, when the Bears played San Francisco? And the guys were kicking the ball, and they were going.
Yeah, I remember.
That's what it felt like. And Emma knows, Tina knows, like down in field position, on the field, the wind swirls.
In that bowl.
Mm-hmm. So you have no idea. Like, and those guys I thought played it well. But yes, Cairo Santos, that long one that he hit, I was like, okay.
But you wanted him to run out there. You wanted him to kick the field goal before the 2-minute warning. And what does he said? Listen, I wanted to make sure we were set. We needed to make that field goal.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things that really could have backfired in that game when you talk about the coaching side. I mean, Ben Johnson with that 4th and 1 play, he stood by it, but I don't think that was the right call. Just run the ball up the middle in that spot. Yeah, they botched that end of that sequence there, setting up the field goal, getting under the 2-minute warning. It didn't matter. Cairo Santos, give him flowers for the onside kick, too. That was set up beautifully.
Our NFC North Scores and NFC playoff discussion brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Kia dealers, Jerry O'Sullivan and the guys. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. All right, Week 16 scores in the NFC. North. Lions and Steelers. What a crazy finish. If you have not seen it, make sure you pull it up online.
And then look up the rules.
Yeah, and then look up the rules. You'll need it because you're going to see Detroit score and then not win the game because of offensive pass interference. Steelers beat the Lions 29-24. Vikings win their third in a row. Doesn't matter. And they knocked off the Giants. Bad news, J.J. McCarthy left the game with a hand injury, feared that he broke his hand. All right, here's the current NFC playoff picture. We were talking about this, Laurence. Seattle, the Bears, the Eagles, the Niners, and the Rams have all clinched spots in the NFC playoff picture.
All right, so Carolina and Tampa Bay for the South, Detroit and Green Bay for the last wild card spot. That's what you've got going on. Carolina and Tampa play each other in Week 18, and Panthers won today against them, which is amazing. Think about this. If the Panthers also get into the playoffs, who won the trade?
Good question. Good question. Who's going to get in from the NFC North? Is it going to be the Lions or the Packers?
It's tough for me. I see. Lions are dealing with a lot of injuries on the defense. Obviously, losing Brian Branch has been huge too. I want to see the Packers. I think Packers because I kind of want to see the Bears and Packers.
What I don't want to see is the Bears to have to play the Packers in that
could
first
happen.
round.
That could be 2-7 matchup. That's a primetime fist fight right there.
The Lions are a mess right now. I don't think they're getting it. It's going to be the Packers getting it. I think you're going to get that rematch at Soldier Field. The third game, Bears hosting the Packers for a playoff game. Unbelievable stakes and a lot of excitement for that one.
Packers can get in if they beat the Ravens next Saturday, and then they win against the Vikings. All right, before we get into the college football playoff talk, real quick, White Sox fans out there, they signed Japanese slugger, Munetaka Murakami, to a 2-year, $34 million deal. Hey, man, this guy's got some power.
Japanese Kyle Schwarber.
Yes, 2022, he had 56 home runs. All right, Mr. Alabama, how's the Tide going to do against Indiana?
This will be their biggest test. Indiana is so physical on both sides of the ball. Kurt Signetti, former Bama assistant. It's kind of weird. You got the former Bama assistant versus the former Indiana assistant in Kalen DeBoer going up against each other.
All right, Tina.
We got to talk about it.
What happened to the Aggies against the Miami Hurricanes?
Well, the offense did not show up at all. I mean, you got to give credit to Miami and their defense. Only 3 points. Marcel Reed, they made him uncomfortable, so the Aggie offense did not show up.
All right, how you guys feeling about the college football playoff?
I'm enjoying it a lot. I imagine Tina is not enjoying it as much as
you won't be following it anymore. And what about you, Mr. Emma?
I'm the sad Notre Dame fan who opted out of the postseason, so we're on to 2026. Can't wait for the opener against Wisconsin up at Lambeau Field.
All right, I don't know about you guys, but we're going to end the show here with the good, better, best from last night. Did anyone happen to see it yet?
No, I haven't seen it.
Are you appreciating it?
Oh, it's become a whole thing. The security guard in our building at the Score just yells it out to me random.
By the way, if you have not seen the feature that Tina Nguyen did on Good, Better, Best and where it started, you need to check it out. You can find it online on fox32chicago.com. That is it for Chicago Sports Tonight. For Tina and Laurence and Chris, I'm Lou Canellis. Bears Game Night Live is coming up with Jeff Joniak and Tom Thayer. But first, good, better, best. Hell yeah!
This is a special group. Say it. This doesn't happen everywhere, gentlemen. Where we are right now, what you guys are doing, it's no fluke. It's no fluke. You are mentally tough. You're physically tough, and you fight all 60 minutes. DJ Moore!